Howie Roseman may be on the verge of finding the next big name at tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles, my friend. We're talking about a 6'4", 239-pound athlete who shattered records at the NFL Scouting Combine, numbers that left scouts absolutely speechless. And the best part? Everything points to him being available on day 2 of the 2026 draft, exactly where the Eagles have built their tight end legends. I'm going to tell you everything about this prospect, why he's a perfect fit for the Eagles system, and why the team's own history demands you pay close attention to this analysis. But first, if you're a die-hard Eagles fan, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel right now, because the 2026 draft is coming fast, and you can't afford to miss a single update about the future of your favorite franchise. With the 2026 NFL draft approaching and the Philadelphia Eagles keeping a close eye on their long-term roster needs, the name taking over conversations behind the scenes is Eli Stowers, tight end out of Vanderbilt. The report comes from ESPN, where analyst Matt Miller identified Stowers as the Eagles' potential next superstar at the position, projected to go in the second round. And look, my friend, the Eagles know exactly what to do with a second-round tight end. You don't have to dig very deep into this franchise's history to understand why this move makes all the sense in the world. In 2012, Howie Roseman went and grabbed Zach Ertz in the second round. And what happened? One of the greatest tight end tandems in NFL history. In 2018, Dallas Goedert arrived, also in the second round. Another surgical hit. If the recipe worked twice, why wouldn't you go back to the well a third time? But who is Eli Stowers? His journey is one of the most fascinating stories of the 2026 draft class. He arrived in college football as a 4-star dual-threat quarterback out of Geyer High School in Denton, Texas, an athlete everyone knew had special talent, but who hadn't yet found the right position. He spent 2 years as a backup at Texas A&M in 2021 and 2022, then transferred to New Mexico State in 2023, where he began experimenting at both quarterback and tight end. And that's where everything changed. The turning point came when Stowers transferred to Vanderbilt in 2024 as a full-time tight end. The result was nothing short of explosive. He earned back-to-back All-SEC honors, and in 2025 reached the pinnacle of the college game, winner of the Mackey Award, given to the nation's best tight end, and a unanimous All-American selection. The numbers speak for themselves. 62 receptions for 769 yards and 4 touchdowns in his final season alone. Over 2 full seasons at Vanderbilt, he posted 111 receptions, 1,407 yards, and 9 touchdowns. But what really turns heads goes well beyond the stats. At the 2026 NFL Scouting Combine in February, Eli Stowers literally rewrote the record books. He posted 11 feet and 3 inches in the broad jump and 45.5 inches in the vertical jump, both all-time combine records for tight ends. On top of that, he ran the 40-yard dash in 4.51 seconds. Think about that for a second. A man standing nearly 6'4" and weighing over 239 pounds, moving with that kind of speed and explosiveness. That's the type of combination that keeps scouts up at night. And the real question is, will the Eagles let that kind of talent slip away, or will they pull the trigger in the second round? NFL. Draft analyst Lance Zierlein was direct in his evaluation. Stowers is a natural pass catcher with an exceptional catch radius and an explosive ability to gain yards after the catch. According to the Fantasy Pros scouting report, he has just 2 career drops in his entire college career. Remarkable reliability. And more than half of his total yards came after the catch, which is exactly what you want to see from an athlete who creates an open space. Now, how does this fit into the Eagles' system? Extremely well, my friend. Extremely well. Dallas Goedert remains one of the best tight ends in the league. Just look at what he did. 13 total touchdowns last season, including 11 through the air, a franchise record for tight ends. The man signed a 1-year, $7 million contract that saved the Eagles $20 million in cap space compared to what he could have demanded on the open market. That is loyalty and veteran intelligence from a guy who loves this city. But Goedert is 31 years old. The Eagles need to think about tomorrow. And that's exactly where Stowers enters the equation. The possibility of having 2 high-quality tight ends on the field at the same time is something we haven't seen much from the Eagles in recent years, but analysts are pointing to it as the natural next step for this offense. Zierlein mentioned it directly. Stowers fits perfectly into the growing trend of teams using 2 and even 3 tight end formations. He would be the F tight end, the receiver, while Goddard would continue as the complete tight end, capable of both blocking and catching. Having those two on the field at the same time would be a nightmare for any NFL defense. Can the Eagles adapt their scheme to get the most out of that combination? Given this team's offensive history, absolutely. And if Stowers still needs to develop his blocking game, which Zierlein points to as a real limitation at this stage, that is something you can work on over time with good coaching. What you can't easily coach is that kind of athleticism, that speed, that ability to create in space. That's a gift, and Stowers has it in abundance. Another thing analysts are highlighting is Stowers' background as a quarterback. That detail is not a small one. A player who spent years at the quarterback position arrives at tight end with a completely different understanding of the game. He reads defensive coverages from an angle that most tight ends will never have. He knows where the windows are, how defenses organize themselves, and the timing of routes. That football IQ could be exactly the edge that accelerates his transition to the NFL. And the financial picture? The report doesn't specify projected contract values for Stowers in the draft, which is expected for a second-round pick. But what we do know is that Howie Roseman has room to work with on the cap, especially after the team-friendly deal Goddard signed. Selecting a tight end in the second round is a smart way to lock in elite-level talent on a cost-controlled rookie contract. Exactly the kind of move Roseman loves when building a balanced and competitive roster. But now comes the big question every Eagles fan has to ask. Will Stowers even be available in the second round? His combine performance and the overwhelmingly positive evaluations from analysts suggest he could climb up draft boards before draft night arrives. There's a real chance that other teams, also in need of a quality tight end, come calling before the Eagles get their turn. Philadelphia may have to decide whether to trade up to secure Stowers or trust that he'll still be on the board when they pick. And that's exactly the kind of decision that will define the future of this team. Because, my friend, when you look at the Eagles' legacy at this position, Ertz in the second round, Goddard in the second round, Super Bowl champions with both of them on the field, it's hard to argue against running the same play again with a prospect who broke athletic records at the Combine, won the Mackey Award unanimously, and carries the football IQ of a former quarterback. The 2026 draft is coming, and the Philadelphia Eagles have another chance to lean on their history and Howie Roseman's brilliance to secure the future of the tight end position. Eli Stowers could be exactly the missing piece to take this offense to the next level. With the uncertainty around Stowers' availability in the second round, the need to plan for life after Goddard, and the possibility of building one of the most dangerous tight end combinations in the league, what do you think is the best draft strategy for the Eagles in 2026? Do you think Howie Roseman trades up to lock in Stowers, or does he play it cool and hope he falls? Drop your opinion in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later with the latest Eagles news.